Leaves on the line. It was autumn on the island of Sodor. The leaves on the trees are turning from green to brown and orange. They cover the ground like a carpet. Thomas likes to see the autumn leaves. But he does not like it when the rain makes them wet, because wet leaves make the rails very slippery. One night, James was resting in the shed when Thomas puffed in, looking very cross indeed. "Hello, Thomas. You had a good day?" "No," huffed Thomas. "Those wet leaves made the rails very slippery." "They can be a nuisance," agreed James. "You'll need plenty of sand and a good grip tomorrow." But the next day was the same. Thomas came back to the shed looking very angry. "What's wrong with you?" asked Percy. "Wet leaves on the line again," barked Thomas. "I nearly slid through the station by the river when I tried to stop." It rained and rained, and each night in the shed, Thomas complained about the wet leaves making the rails slippery. He was a grumpy little engine. Soon, the other engines knew what Thomas was going to say before he had a chance to say it. "I know," chuckled Henry. "Wet leaves on the line again." One evening, Henry, James, Edward and Percy were resting in the shed when Thomas raced into the yard, travelling backwards. He was in a real hurry and looked worried. "Leaves on the line again, Thomas," Henry called cheekily, and the other engines laughed. But Thomas didn't find Henry's joke funny. This was urgent. "No, not leaves. It's a tree. The high winds have blown it down. It's lying across the rails." This was serious. Gordon was due through with the express, and the fallen tree was blocking his path. "I'm going to take the breakdown train to clear it as fast as I can," he told the others. Thomas was coupled up to the breakdown train and raced out of the yard as fast as he could go. They soon reached the site of the fallen tree and set to work at once. But when the cranes tried to lift the tree, it wouldn't budge. The driver telephoned for Terence the tractor to come and try to shift it with his big snowplow. But that couldn't move it either. "There's no time to warn Gordon," said the signalman. "He's been signalled through. We'll need to think of something fast." Then Thomas had an idea. "This is a job for Harold the helicopter." The signalman telephoned the airfield, and Harold flew down as fast as he could to help. Thomas's driver and fireman fixed heavy chains from Harold to the tree. Then he flew up slowly, higher and higher. The chains became tight around the tree, and soon it was moving away from the railway. Harold carried it carefully to a nearby field. Gordon steamed through a few minutes later, none the wiser about what could have happened. "Thank you, Harold," whistled Thomas proudly. "You were splendid." "All in a day's work. Glad to be of service." That night in the shed, Thomas told Gordon all about the tree. "After today, I promise I'll never complain about wet leaves on the line again."